being able to tell your own story or telling your own story or controlling the narrative or not letting other people um, just tell your story. I know when I initially got sick, you know, I was telling people as I ran into them. Wasn't a thing where I was really trying to hide it. I was sharing my story, and doing that, collecting prayer warriors along the way as you go. But what started to happen was people started to tell my story, and I just didn't like the feel of that. And I know how some people feel because I know other people who've gotten sick during that time, and they haven't shared that information. I know people who do things in business or in life in general and don't share it just because people try to tell their story or change their story or the narrative of what they're doing or how things are going. So it was important to me that I didn't allow that to happen, and that's why I shared a lot of my story on social media initially, um, which is something I probably wouldn't have done um, normally. I may have been somebody that just didn't share that on a social platform. Um, but the other thing about that is you will find that there are some people, um, and you have to look at this in a couple of ways. Um, you're gonna find out, especially going through an illness, that there are some people that you thought would be there that aren't there or won't be there, and it's nothing to get upset about. And it sounds crazy saying that, but um, it's just one of those things where everybody's not built to deal with certain situations, and so you'll have to grow to accept that. I mean, there'll be people that just flat out disappear away from you, and that's not necessarily a good or a bad thing because sometimes you need that space for growth, and that growth is where, I mean, you're gonna have your lifelong, you're gonna have your family and some friends who, down with you to the bitter end. But during that time, you're gonna also find some people that step up and show you love and pray for you and support you that you didn't even know had any inkling that you were around or alive or even cared in the least bit, right? And that's the thing that is really huge, um, is that your expectation level of who should do what and when is going to be totally thrown off by what actually happens, who actually shows up, and when they show up. Um, you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna have some family and friends that have been there throughout your entire life, and so this is not going to be a surprise to you. But you're going to find people that, for whatever reason, just kind of disappear, and you'll kind of question it, but don't question it because, again, I want to be clear. Everybody's not built for that. Everybody can't deal with that. Knowing that somebody's sick and they don't know how the illness is going to turn out, and they don't know how you're going to come out of it or if you're going to come out of it. So I totally get it. And the other thing is the abundance of blessings and love and support that comes in from people that you would not even expect it to come from will surpass anything you miss. I mean, it's like you just have no idea. So, in the end, I'm so glad that I shared my story because there were people who reached out to me, um, and people who prayed for me, people who helped to support me. That I had, no, I'm telling you, I couldn't have seen that coming. You know, if I was locked in on it, like it just, you couldn't have told me at any point in time. So I just want to say that, so if you are going through something, particularly cancers or any illnesses, or just doing things in life where you are feeling like you don't get that support or that love, one, just make sure you tell your own story, and two, just be ready to receive the new love that's going to pop up in your life, the new support, all the prayers, and don't be upset about the people or folks that seem to disappear, because sometimes, like I said, it's not just disappearing, it's just people don't want to see some of their folks in a bad situation. They don't know how to handle it, they don't know how to speak on it. So yeah, that's all I got for you today, man. Just embrace it and go. Have a good one. Peace.